And actually in the game got stopped due to some horses running across the field. So that was a big memory of it. I think I actually opened the bowling and I got a couple of wickets. No, that's amazing. That was my first ever game for Hampshire. I think I was 9. And I was playing a year up for Hampshire, under 10s, and we were playing Essex. I can't remember the actual ground, but all I remember was actually a really, really hot day, and I was actually really, really nervous. It was the first time I was representing the county, and Mum and Dad took me, and I was really, really nervous. I remember that really, really well, actually. And actually in the game got stopped due to some horses running across the field. So that was a big memory of it. I think I actually opened the bowling and I got a couple of wickets. I can't really remember what I did with the bat. Obviously not much, I don't think. But yeah, that was a really actual special day. That was the first time I played for Hampshire, and well, that must be 25 years ago now, I think, roughly. But yeah, so that's where it all started, really, for Hampshire.
What I think is also very impressive is you're in your Sunday best.
Yes, that was one of the rules actually of the back then, that you had to turn up in a Hampshire tie and trousers and a shirt, which was, things have changed now. I don't think you do that anymore. I think you turn up in a tracksuit. But yeah, that was what you had to do back in the day, and I always remember actually I could never do my tie, so I had to get people to help me to do that. I had to get some of the coaches to help me to do that sort of after a game, and yeah, they made it very clear that I need to learn how to do it. But yeah, we had to dress smartly to turn up to games and leave games.
That's so sweet.
Okay, yeah, that was probably, that would have been 4 years later. So my cricket started to get a little bit more serious at that time. I started to play sort of a few under 15, under 16 2-day games, sort of a year or 2 years up, and I mean, on that pitch now, I don't think there's anybody that is still playing professional cricket. So I've sort of been the lucky one out of that group of 12 or 13 players to continue playing professionally. There's a couple there that did turn professional, but obviously, unfortunately, didn't manage to carry on playing. But yeah, they were some great years. You obviously meet a lot of new people there and play a lot of cricket. And that's when cricket's fun. They always say cricket should be fun, but at that age, cricket is really fun because you've got no worries. There's no expectation on you. There's no pressure really. But yeah, some brilliant memories of all the age groups that I played with at Hampshire. So
when you look back, how young were you when you kind of noticed cricket, and what did it look like to you then?
Yeah, well, that was I was young. I was probably going to cricket when I was sort of 4 or 5 with my dad. My mum would take me, but I'd go to watch my dad sort of be around the changing room at a club called Go Taker Cricket Club in Wiltshire. So I sort of grew up around cricket. Our summers were basically at the cricket club. Dad would play on a Saturday and a Sunday, and train in the week, so I'd always be down there. And actually, I think that, the older you get, I think that actually makes you grow up really quickly, sort of being around adults, and from a very young age, sort of being in the change room around, men was actually really good looking back, because you do grow up quickly and you sort of mature a lot quicker than maybe, some other potential children that sort of don't get that opportunity to be around adults from a real young age in a sporting environment.
If you could jump in a DeLorean and go back in time and talk to that little kid in the tie going into cricket, what bit of advice would you give to her? What would you say, bearing in mind, you've done the highs and lows of cricket along the way? Yeah,
I think at that age there's no expectation on you. There's no, it's not your job. You're not being paid to perform. You're basically playing because you love the game and you love what the game brings and what you can get out of the game. You're playing with your friends, and I think if you can try and keep that mindset when you turn to professional cricket, or if you play for a while, you can try and go back to that mindset, because don't get me wrong, I think everybody that is a professional cricketer at some point sort of falls out the love for the game. And we're very lucky to do what we do, and I think our coach, Adi Birrell, was really actually good at that, sort of understanding why you played the game, and there's a lot of people that would love to be in your position. So don't moan about it, which is very, very easy to say, because I think a lot of us potentially do that, because you forget why you're playing the game. I think that's normal because the pressure that it brings, the expectation it brings. But as a 10-year-old kid there, you don't feel the pressure. You don't expect anything. You're doing it because you love playing cricket with your friends.
What advice do you think the 10-year-old would give you?
To love the game, and that sounds very simple, but they want to be out there 7 days a week, and if they could play for hours and hours on end. I think that's something that, as I said, probably I wish I learned a lot earlier in my career. I still have days now where I find it really tough to think like that, but I think that's very normal. But yeah, I think the quicker you can sort of go back to really enjoying the game and loving the game, and being that 10-year-old kid again, wanting to be out there, wanting to train every day, that would be a really healthy place to be. Hi, I'm Dawson, and now I'm a Sunrisers Eastern Cape player.